Hello everyone. Our topic for today is trends in Victorian fiction. Now, the Victorian age it was named after Queen Victoria and it lasted from 1837 to 1901. And it was a time of big changes, like factories were growing, cities were becoming crowded, science was developing, and society was changing very fast, right? And because of all this, literature also changed. Like writers no longer wanted to only entertain people, they wanted to show the truth of society. And this is where Victorian fiction becomes very important. Now, first, let us understand one basic idea. What is Victorian fiction? Victorian fiction mainly means the novel. Now, what is a novel? A long story written in prose about human life. And this form became popular because it could show family life, social problems, personal struggles, all in one story. So the novel became the most powerful form of this age. Um, the most important trend, let's move on to that is realism. Now, what does realism mean? Realism means showing life as it is, and Victorian writers wrote about ordinary people, everyday situations, real problems, and they described real streets, real homes, and real emotions. So, literature became uh, more truthful and practical. Now, another trend called social criticism and social reform. Victorian writers saw many problems in society, such as poverty, child labor, inequality, and they did not stay silent. They used fiction to criticize society, make people aware. For example, Charles Dickens wrote about the suffering of poor people, so fiction became a tool to improve society. And serial publication. Now you might be thinking, what is that? Uh, Novels were not published all at once, right? They were published in parts like episodes. So people would wait for the next part with excitement. Because of this, writers made stories interesting, full of suspense, and this made novels very popular among common readers. Now, Victorian novels do not focus on just one person. They show rich and poor, city and village, different classes of people, right? So the novel becomes like a mirror of the whole society. Now, talking about moral purpose, Victorian writers believed that literature should teach something like what is right and what is wrong. So, many novels have a moral message. They try to make readers better human beings. Psychological interest. Now, what does that mean? It means understanding the human mind. Victorian writers did not only show actions, they also showed thoughts, feelings, and inner conflict. So, characters became more real and complex. Women and domestic life. Victorian fiction gives importance to family, marriage, role of women, and all. Writers showed the struggles and emotions of women in society, so literature became closer to everyday life. Now, different types of novels. Victorian fiction is not just one type. There are social novels, domestic novels, historical novels, sensation novels. Now, what is sensation novel? A story full of mystery, secrets, and suspense. So, Victorian fiction is rich and varied. Now, let us quickly look at some important writers. Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Thomas Hardy, Bronte sisters. These writers made Victorian fiction very powerful. Now, let us quickly revise everything. Victorian fiction shows realism, social problems, moral values, human psychology, family life, and wide picture of society. So we can say Victorian fiction is a mirror of real life.